Alright, we're back. And this time with Counter Blitz, the deck for Final Fantasy X. In fact, I hadn't played 10 yet, and I set a goal for myself to finish the game before pre-release. So before yesterday at the time of this video. And I finished the day before. Barely cutting it, but I'm really glad that I did. At first I wasn't that into it. It's very slow to get started, but wow, the story picks up and it hits you hard. So the knife didn't work out last time so well, left a lot of mess, so we're just gonna use our good old hands. Okay, these are hard to open. Okay, little deck box that we're never going to use. Interesting. Oh man, I'm so excited. I was telling a friend of mine, I wonder why they did the anime art for Tidus and Yuna in these cards. Because you see him here, that's closer to how he looks in game, but both of the arts have anime. Well, maybe not Yuna's, but in general. I feel like they should have gone with the in-game model, just a less slightly upgraded. But still, the art is fantastic. And we get a little collector booster. Very nice. Alright, first things first. Let's see what we get here. Last time I got Tifa. It'll be cool if I get Yuna now. And... oh well. A replacement for the Final Fantasy VII deck. And who is this? From 14. I am not familiar. I have not reached Shadowbringers yet on 14. It's taken me a long time. A long time. A Realm Reborn is kind of tough to get through. But I plan on playing more 14. Nice. Alright, this is going to the Final Fantasy VII deck. Alright, let's see. Tidus, Yuna's Guardian, or Tidus. Whichever one you prefer, I don't care. I go in between both of them. Whichever one is easier to pronounce. Alright. Man. I love this foiling. It's the standard Magic foiling, but I've always been a big fan. And honestly, the printing on this card says fantastic. I wonder if they used a different like printer for these, like maybe like a different country, because I know the Japanese cards, that the Japanese stock is very good. That is beautiful. Yuna, Grand Summoner. These two abilities, it's very funny. Now after playing the game, you understand the whole sheer ability, the Grand Summon, moving counters around, kind of represents the sphere grid, is very, very cool. I am a big fan of how they represented the mechanics of the game in the cards. Auron, or like we call him, Aura Farmer. He's such a badass. Love him. Fantastic party member. Very nice. Chocobo Knights, Gara and Luzu. Lord Jisco Guado. If you know, you know. Protection magic. Hell yeah. Love the art. Ixion. Honestly, one of my favorite summons. Not as useful in the end game, but it is very good once you get him. Jojimbo. I gotta get him. I did not get him in my first playthrough, so maybe I'll go back and do that. Summoners Ascending. This scene is absolutely beautiful. And it really tells you a lot about Yuna herself. Blitzball Stadium. I do not like Blitzball. I played her once and never again. Lulu's Stern Guardian. Which is awesome. The Travel Immersion that shows up everywhere. Riku, Results for Guardian. So Yuffie 2.0. And slightly less annoying. Nah, she's not annoying. Yuffie is annoying. Valifor, very nice. I love this creature saga. I feel like this is another home run when it comes to flavor in the set. Because in most Final Fantasy games, when you do a summon, they come in, they do their thing, and then they go away. 10 is a little different, but still. This is fantastic. Seymour Reflux. We do not like this guy as a character, but it seems like the card is pretty strong. It's not bad. And the aforementioned Sphere Grid. Awesome. So you can read the card if you pause. Another summon that I didn't get in my first playthrough. Gotta go back. The game opens up so much once you get the airship. Tromel, Seymour's butler. We do not like him. I just personally don't like him. Juno's decision. One of the most pivotal moments in the game. Yeah. Just thinking about it. Yuna's whistle, very funny. Kimari. Now, not my favorite party member, but this ability actually fits really well with what he does in-game, and this is very strong mechanically in Magic. Shalinda. Sin Unending Cataclysm. That is fantastic art. Wow. Waka Devoted Guardian. At first I wasn't the biggest fan of Waka, to be honest. But he is one of the few characters that go through a major development. It's really nice to see him face his flaws. Yeah, and he's a very useful party member. Collective effort. Now this scene was fantastic. This is straight up 90s. Just Ham Verdict, very nice. Farewell. No comment. But a fantastic reprint. Luminous Bruthmoth. Awesome card to include in this. Awesome card. The very first thing that you see when you turn on the game. This exact scene. Very good. Result for defense. Nah. What a headache. This boss fight. But good card. When an opponent casts a spell, put a +1/+1 on the description and you gain 1 life. This can get bid pretty quickly. This combined with Forbidding Ancient. Is it Forbidding Ancient? The one that every player casts a spell, gets a +1/+1, and then you can move it around. Yeah, this is decent. Together Forever. Also a beautiful card. Chasm Skulker. Yeah, I think we're getting, this is the reprints. Or these are the reprints. Pull from Tomorrow. Pain of Progress. I've always hated this card because it's always being used against me. But now I'm gonna use it. Fight Rigging. Another hideaway. Yep, here it is. Forgotten Ancient. This is a very strong card in any deck that cares about +1/+1 counters. Interesting. Generous Patron. And Geo, or Genesis, they didn't get a card, but a fan of Blitzball gets a card. Very fun. Gyre Sage, awesome to see in any deck that has counters. Same thing with Hardened Scales. Very nice. Occupation Druid, Path of Discovery. I'm a big fan of this land. Totally not because I have a Merfolk deck that cares about Explorers, but yeah, I love this land. Not land, enchantment. What am I saying? Rampant Rejuvenator, Tireless Tracker, fantastic. I love Clues. I also have a Clues deck. Altered Ego, another one of my favorite copy spells because it cannot be countered. Endless Detour, awesome. Fathom Mage. Walking Ballista. Now, I'm a little scared to see this here because this can get out of control insanely quickly. It's a very strong card. Very, very strong. And now here we go to the lands. I'm not going to go through all of them. I went through them in the first video with Final Fantasy VII. A lot of them are not exclusive to their games. They are shared across the different ones, which is understandable. They couldn't make specific lands for each and every one of the games with specific art, so that's fine. This is beautiful. This is specific. These are specifically for 10, so they look very nice. Port Town, great cards. I'm actually not not a big hater of the land base in these decks. I think they're pretty decent, except for these. I do not like these lands that do not do anything once you play them. You have to have another land. If you have this in your opening hand, it's not great. But other than that, these are not bad for a precon. I should preface by saying that. All right, let's keep going. Destroy Evil. Awesome. Grateful Apparition. The little boy. Path to Exile. Now this deck has some fantastic reprints. Yeah. The Crawler. Farseek again. I saying this in person. Inspiring Call. This scene is so meme done, but in the actual context of the story is very touching, and it means a lot, despite how cringy it made sound on first watching or first viewing. 3 visits, another good ramp spell. Oh, here we go. Arcane Signet is Tidus's necklace. Very nice. Yeah. Overflowing Chalice is not a bad card, but I really dislike what this is. These are the orb trials in the game. Easily the worst part of an otherwise fantastic game. This is the save point. Looks amazing. Love it. So, more lands. Nothing too significant. Well, this is another Final Fantasy X land. Very, very nice. Oh, that looks beautiful. Yep. Oh, Bevel. Very nice. Temple of the False God. Command Tower. Now that is Zanarkand. Lit up and lively. And then we have the basics that are shared across the games. This one specifically is for 10. Don't recall if there's any other for 10. And that's it. I realized that in the last video I didn't show the tokens, so we're never going to use these. Alright, so that is the Final Fantasy X counter Blitz deck with Tidus and Yuna, or Tidus and Yuna, however you prefer it. Man, these cards are fantastic and they look great. These abilities are awesome. Yeah, I'm just reading them over. I cannot wait to play with all of these. And the print quality, honestly, it's not bad. I'm a fan. Alright guys, so stay tuned. There will be more Final Fantasy Magic videos in the coming days or in the next day whenever I decide to upload this. Again, I'm going to be unboxing the other Commander decks. Possibly a booster box, maybe, hopefully, if I can find it for a decent price that is not over 200. But we'll see. Alright, thank you so much and have a good one.